point that's going to change the calculus. And frankly, what we will see instead are some political divisions on display with the way that House Republicans and frankly Republicans of all stripes are expected to react to this. I can tell you that we have a number of high-profile lawmakers, Republicans here on Capitol Hill, who have already called on President Biden to step aside. One is Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. Another is someone who you had on your air not long ago, Tom Emmer, the majority whip in the House of Representatives. Josh Hawley, a senator, and the list goes on of Republicans who have called on him to resign. And there is this split. There are the Democrats who say he is stepping aside because he doesn't think he can win November. He's making a selfless choice for the future of the party. And then there was the Republican argument that he's stepping aside because he doesn't necessarily have the gas in the tank to win in November in terms of ability. And while the White House disputes that and have said, look at his doctor's reports, look at his health history, things of that nature, Republicans are still pushing that narrative. Even Tom Emmer earlier tonight used the word cover up with you. So that schism is very much going to be on display. And we do not expect these Republicans, no matter what President Biden says tonight, to stop those calls between now and really November.
Jay O'Brien, our thanks to you as always. And joining us now is presidential historian Mark Updegrove. Mark, thank you for joining us. The country is witnessing something we haven't seen since LBJ decided not to run for a second term back in 1968. What are some other similarities between then and now?
You know, that there are similarities and there are differences. The similarity is, of course, it's the last time, as you suggested, a sitting president opted not to accept the nomination of his party for another term in president. But the difference is this, Lindsay, that speech that LBJ made in 1968 was done on March 31st, and he neither sought nor chose to accept the nomination of his party for another term. Joe Biden sought the nomination. He got the nomination, and now he's declining to accept the nomination, and he's doing so at the end of July, not the end of March, well into the election cycle. So that's a major difference. But I think the other similarity is 1968. There are echoes of 1968 in 2024, a stream of unprecedented and dramatic events that kind of shake us to our core and wonder what's happening next. 1968 was what LBJ called the nightmare year because there was one thing after another. We are seeing that once again caught up in the currents, the rapid currents of history in 2024, Lindsay.
And one thing that really fascinates me, of course, the presidential debate in June was the earliest such debate ever. Do you think that historians might look back and say, if not for such an early debate, President Biden might have stayed in the race?
It's possible. There's the one thing about that debate, Lindsay, is it determined the fate of one of the political candidates. We really haven't seen that before, to the point where the candidate reevaluates his candidacy and says, I'm not the guy to steer this party forward, so I'm going to get out of the race. That's never happened before. You point out it happened early in the race. The Democrats may be happy about that because had that performance happened at a later point, it might have been very difficult to recover from that point on, serve up a candidate who was viable and who was appealing to the electorate. So that might have been a twist of fate for the Democrats in this case and an advantage as they go forward with a brand new candidate to whom Joe Biden passes the torch.
And just about a minute left, Mark, but Biden really seems to have been tortured over this decision for several days. How might history come to view his early departure?
I think that history will see the wisdom in his opting not to seek the presidency again for another term, given what we saw in that performance earlier, that debate performance you mentioned, Lindsay. But I think ultimately we will see Joe Biden as a patriot who made the decision to put his country above himself, above his own political gain in this case. This is a guy who worked his whole life toward the acquisition and exercise of power, 36 years in the Senate, 8 years in the vice presidency, 3+ years in the presidency. And now he has an opportunity for one more term and decides that it's best for the country to step down. I think history will smile favorably on Joe Biden for making that decision.
Despite his low approval ratings now?
Despite his low approval, well, in part because of his low approval ratings. I think Joe Biden sees that he is not the guy to take the country forward. He got into the race in order to save democracy. And he's done an admirable job of that, but I think he sees that he's not the person to fulfill that going forward. It's Kamala Harris.
Presidential historian Mark Updegrove, we thank you so much for your time. That's our show for tonight. I'm Lindsay Davis. Our special coverage of President Biden's Oval Office address starts right now with David Muir.
Tonight, President Biden addressing the nation from the Oval Office, the president's historic decision to withdraw from the race for the White House, his goals for his remaining 6 months in office, and his message tonight to a divided America. ABC News live coverage begins right now.
The ABC News special, President Biden, the decision, address to the nation. The president speaking for the first time since exiting the race for the White House, finished the job he started. Now reporting, David Muir.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on this historic night. We are just moments away from President Biden's Oval Office address to the nation. For the first time, he will speak to the American people about his very personal and likely wrenching decision to withdraw from the race for the White House. We are told that he will argue in his words that the defense of democracy is more important than any title, and he will outline his remaining 6 months in office. Pressure to drop out had been mounting for weeks following his alarming debate performance against Donald Trump.
Well, we on the scene. You know what I'm saying? That. Welcome everybody tuning in right now. We're going to check out this Biden speech, you know? Any mad guys out there right now? Take a look. You know what I'm saying, Doc? Got something to say, Tony, before he get riled up in this thing? You muted.
Oh, there we go. Shit, I gotta get it together. No, I'm just waiting to see what. Oh, he's about to start talking now, so I'll pause this.
Who implored us to reject malice. Franklin Roosevelt, who inspired us to reject fear. I revere this office, but I love my country more. It's been the honor of my life to serve as your president. But in the defense of democracy, which is at stake, I think it's more important than any title. I draw strength and I find joy in working for the American people. But this sacred task of perfecting our union, it's not about me. It's about you, your families, your futures. It's about we, the people. We can never forget that. And I never have. I've made it clear that I believe America is at an inflection point. One of those rare moments in history when the decisions we make now will determine our fate of our nation and the world for decades to come. America's going to have to choose between moving forward or backward, between hope and hate, between unity and division. We have to decide, do we still believe in honesty, decency, respect, freedom, justice, and democracy? In this moment, we can see those we disagree with not as enemies, but as fellow Americans. Can we do that? Does character in public life still matter? I believe I know the answer to these questions because I know you, the American people. And I know this, we are a great nation because we are good people. When you elected me to this office, I promised to always level with you, to tell you the truth. The truth, the sacred cause of this country is larger than any one of us. Those of us who cherish that cause, cherish it so much, a cause of American democracy itself, must unite to protect it. You know, in recent weeks, it's become clear to me that I need to unite my party in this critical endeavor. I believe my record as president, my leadership in the world, my vision for America's future, all merited a second term. But nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy. That includes personal ambition. So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. It's the best way to unite our nation. You know, there is a time and a place for long years of experience in public life. There's also a time and a place for new voices, fresh voices, yes, younger voices. And that time and place is now. Over the next 6 months, I'll be focused on doing my job as president. That means I'll continue to lower costs for hardworking families, grow our economy. I'll keep defending our personal freedoms and our civil rights, from the right to vote to the right to choose. I'll keep calling out hate and extremism. Make it clear there is no place in America for political violence or any violence ever, period. I'm going to keep speaking out to protect our kids from gun violence. Our planet from climate crisis is the existential threat. And I will keep fighting for my cancer moonshot so we can end cancer as we know it, because we can do it. I'm going to call for Supreme Court reform because this is critical to our democracy, Supreme Court reform. You know, I will keep working to ensure America remains strong, secure, and the leader of the free world. I'm the first president in this century to report to the American people that the United States is not at war anywhere in the world. We'll keep rallying a coalition of proud nations to stop Putin from taking over Ukraine and doing more damage. We'll keep NATO stronger, and I'll make it more powerful and more united than any time in all of our history. I'll keep doing the same for our allies in the Pacific. You know, when I came to office, the conventional wisdom was that China would inevitably surpass the United States. That's not the case anymore. And I'm going to keep working to end the war in Gaza, bring home all the hostages, and bring peace and security to the Middle East and end this war. We're also working around the clock to bring home Americans being unjustly detained all around the world. You know, we've come so far since my inauguration. On that day, I told you, as I stood in that winter, we stood in a winter of peril and a winter of possibilities. Peril and possibilities. We were in the grip of the worst pandemic in the century, the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression, the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. We came together as Americans. We got through it. We emerged stronger, more prosperous, and more secure. Today, we have the strongest economy in the world, creating nearly 16 million new jobs, a record. Wages are up. Inflation continues to come down. The racial wealth gap is the lowest it's been in 20 years. We're literally rebuilding our entire nation, urban, suburban, rural, tribal communities. Manufacturing has come back to America. We're leading the world again in chips and science and innovation. We finally beat Big Pharma after all these years to lower the cost of prescription drugs for seniors. And I'm going to keep fighting to make sure we lower the cost for everyone, not just seniors. More people have health care today in America than ever before. And I signed one of the most significant laws helping millions of veterans and their families who are exposed to toxic materials. You know, most significant climate law ever in the history of the world. The first major gun safety law in 30 years. Today, the violent crime rate is at a 50-year low. We're also securing our border. Border crossings are lower today than when the previous administration left office. I've kept my commitment to appoint the first Black woman to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. I also kept my commitment to have an administration that looks like America and be a president for all Americans. That's what I've done. I ran for president 4 years ago because I believed and still do that the soul of America was at stake. The very nature of who we are was at stake. And that's still the case. America's an idea. An idea stronger than any army, bigger than any ocean, more powerful than any dictator or tyrant. It's the most powerful idea in the history of the world. That idea is that we hold these truths to be self-evident. We're all created equal, endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. We've never fully lived up to it, to this sacred idea, but we've never walked away from it either. And I do not believe the American people will walk away from it now. In just a few months, the American people will choose the course of America's future. I made my choice. I've made my views known. I would like to thank our great Vice President Kamala Harris. She's experienced, she's tough, she's capable. She's been an incredible partner to me and a leader for our country. Now the choice is up to you, the American people. When you make that choice, remember the words of Benjamin Franklin hanging on my wall here in the Oval Office, alongside the busts of Dr. King and Rosa Parks and Cesar Chavez. When Ben Franklin was asked, as he emerged from the convention going on, whether the founders have given America a monarchy or republic, Franklin's response was, a republic, if you can keep it. A republic, if you can keep it. Whether we keep our republic is now in your hands. My fellow Americans, it's been the privilege of my life to serve this nation for over 50 years. Nowhere else on earth could a kid with a stutter from modest beginnings in Scranton, Pennsylvania, Claymont, Delaware, one day sit behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office as President of the United States. But here I am. That's what's so special about America. We're a nation of promise and possibilities, of dreamers and doers, of ordinary Americans doing extraordinary things. I've given my heart and my soul to our nation, like so many others. I've been blessed a million times in return with the love and support of the American people. I hope you have some idea how grateful I am to all of you. The great thing about America is here, kings and dictators do not rule, the people do. History is in your hands. The power is in your hands. The idea of America lies in your hands. You just have to keep faith, keep the faith, and remember who we are. We're the United States of America, and there's simply nothing beyond our capacity when we do it together. So let's act together, preserve our democracy. God bless you all. May God protect our troops. Thank you.
A moment in history tonight, President Biden in the Oval Office. You heard him say there to the American people, I revere this office. I love my country more. He talked about this being not about me. It's about you. It's about we, the people. He said, we cannot forget that. I never have. He did ask this question. He says, does character in public life still matter as we head toward the November election? And he said, nothing should come in the way of preserving democracy in this country. We do.
All right. I'm gonna let Tony go ahead first. Since you know Biden more than any one of us on this joint.
Repeatedly over the course of the last year. Hold tight. No. Well,
You muted.
oh well, it's a little somber than I thought, but that's to be expected. He giving up what his life dream was, so I can see that. But it was it was decent. Pass the torch. He passed the torch to Kamala and the next generation. He didn't throw the motherfuckers that stabbed him in the back under the bus. Better man than me. He highlighted his accomplishments in 3.5 years. So he did what he was supposed to do. You know, you should step away, endorse your successor, highlight what you did, and go out, give better than what you got. I'll put it like that. He gave a whole lot better than what he got. My whole thing, it ain't what you did, it's how you did it. So he gave better than what he got, and he did a decent thing. Because it was me, I done threw all you motherfuckers under the bus on nationwide TV. But he just looked tired. I'll say that. He looked tired.
All right, what you think, Godfather?
I think it was great. I think to unite the party, he should be calling nobody out. And that's the main thing he said. I need to unite my party. Sitting there blasting them who they didn't, they forced them out was team to divide the party. I think he did that. And like I say from the start, he was just the bridge to get us to the future. From that Trump phrase, it's that bridge. Kamala is the next thing.
All right, first of all, watching the joint, right? You really get the sense of why this was a good move, right? And another thing, man, like he been in motherfucking politics for 50 years. There's nothing else left, right? He the president of the United States. If you're a politician, this is the pinnacle of politicians, right? It's like you in the motherfucking Hall of Fame. There's nowhere else to go, right? Other than just stay being president, right? And he made the motherfucking choice to say, no, you know what? I'm not even gonna go. All right, this is what I feel, right? After listening to him, right? I feel like the pressure that the party put on him is what made him say, I can't continue because my party split. If I keep going, we're gonna lose the race regardless. If I plow through these fools doing this shit every week and just go through the convention, we're gonna lose, right? And in his mind, he's thinking, no matter what, if I fight off my Democrats and just go through the convention, all I'm doing is being weak and I'm gonna lose. So in his mind, he's thinking the best thing to do now, since they set the stage like this for months and months to put me in this position, I have no other choice but to bow out. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm so weak. By the time we get to the convention, I can't change how my party themselves made America think I'm unfit. My party did it. So now in his mind, he got to get the party back together. Because if the party not together, you definitely not going to beat Trump. You feel me? So this is a person that just said, fuck it. I don't need to run for president no more. I'm going to have to pass this on just because the party that's going to try to defeat Trump is divided. And I'm the only person that can put them back together. You know what I'm saying? And I just think you got to commend him for that. Because if you think Trump was in this position, you think Trump would just gate all this up, he would have kept going. He would went all the way to the convention and all types of shit. He don't give a fuck. It's a person that just said, I'm out. I'm going to have to just give up my ambitions because it's the best for the country and my party if I do this. Because right now, if I keep going, my party is split and I'm going to lose votes. I'm going to lose the election. So that means my whole goal of defeating Trump will be done. The only chance I have now, because of my party put me in this position, the only chance I have now, I have to drop out. And I have to back Kamala to go on from this point on. I have to. I have no other choice. You know what I'm saying? That's how I read what he was saying. What you think, Tony?
You could have got the same result without having to drag that man through the mud for 3 weeks. You could have did this. You could have went to him with the poll numbers, with the information, with all the data that you went to him with.
Yeah, just went behind the scenes, just showed it to him.
You could have did this, all of this.
Yeah.
You could have did all of this without publicly dragging that man after all he done in a 50-year career. You could have did it without dragging that man publicly and throwing him under the bus publicly and making him seem like he was a broke down old man that couldn't do nothing. You could have did it. Like I say, it ain't what you did, because what you did, as of right now, it seems like it could turn out for the best. Right now it is turning out for the best because you got more enthusiasm. And the money that they bribed him, basically, well, I ain't gonna say bribed him, that they tried to withhold, saying, well, we're not gonna give you no money for your campaign, and we're not gonna get the money to nobody else on the down ticket unless you drop out. So they basically, use the money to force him. But you could have did this without dragging that man like that and basically disrespecting.
That's what I'm saying. He looked at it as my party is split now. You feel me? I can't continue.
That's the public face. In private, because he's pissed off, he said my party fucked me. That's what he's saying.
I know that part, but in general, overall, the party is now split because now they want me out. Half want me out and half want me in. So now I have to bow out just to get them back together. You know what I'm saying? So he took a patriotic move to say, I got to jump out because I need my party to get back together to defeat Trump. You feel me? It's like Trump wouldn't have made this move, right or wrong, Godfather. He wouldn't have done this.
Trump would have made the move.
All y'all and just fired everybody that just tried to went through that already.
Yeah, Trump would have went through the whole 9 yards. He ain't give a fuck. 19,000 people could have came and showed him some charts. He ain't give a fuck.
I just believe that party did show and try to tell him beforehand. If I told him last, how would you insist on having early debate? See that. And that's the reaction. They probably was telling him he'd leave now, They probably told us a long time ago. Is it short to I was told that he's only working 10 to 4 every day. Well,
now, and on top of that, like when you watch him now, just now in the press conference, you could tell he was not going to win this race. He is not a person that can campaign and win this race. He just was not that person. You can see it in this motherfucking speech right here. He stuttered. He even said himself that he is a kid from Scranton that stuttered. Right? This is the first time ever I haven't heard him say this before. He should have been said this shit like at the beginning.
I never heard him say that before.
I never heard him say I stutter.
Oh,
like he never in his life came out and said I'm a stutterer. Like if he would have made that clear to American people right now just think he can't put a sentence together. If he would have made it clear to American people, I'm a stutterer, like he just did now, but he on his way out, so it's useless, right?
He always,
this is the first time hearing him out of his mouth say, "I'm a stutterer." The words
that
"I'm
might
a
be the first
stutterer."
time you heard it, but he always said it because they always go back and show that clip with the little boy that stuttered, and he when he talked to the little kid that's stuttering and he was being bullied because he stuttered, and he was like, yeah, I was the same way. I stuttered when I was a young child, and don't let him get you or
but
whatever.
it didn't make it part of his speeches. He didn't make it part of. He didn't make it so everybody would know he's a stutterer from kid. You feel me? So most Americans just see him can't put a sentence together. That's what they think of him. You can't put a sentence together. He's just too old. And then if they would have known he was a stutterer, some of that would be negated. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't lead with, man, I was a child of a stutterer. Let's put a bill up to make sure kids that stutter. You know what I'm saying? So people in America know that Biden was a stutterer when he was a kid, period. He never made that a central thing that everybody would know that. Everybody don't know that. You know what I'm saying? You think everybody know because you're a Democrat. Everybody don't know he's a stutterer. They think he just can't put sentences together, bro.
What they did was they tried to make him seem like he got dementia or was going senile. That's what they did.
I know, but he been stuttering since he been in the motherfucking joint. He never made it. He never made it a thing where everybody would know why he's stuttering, and he's a stutterer, right?
But as
most people that comes in like this motherfucking campaign now, new people coming in. They see him on stage, it's like, what the fuck? Then they can't put a sentence together. They don't know he a stutterer. Now you see what I'm saying? He never made it clear to everybody and kept it clear that that's who I am. This is what I do. That I stutter. You see what I'm saying? Democrats know it. Democrats know he's a gaffe machine. But the world don't know it. The majority of people that voting now don't know that he's a stutterer and a gaffe machine. Democrats, you know it. Right?
He basically beat it because for the longest time, until the last year, and recently, he didn't really stutter like that. You see, he gave motherfucking speeches where over the years where he never stuttered.
What?
Yeah, he have. You
fucking a lot of speeches.
He gave a lot of speeches where but put it like this: he don't stutter until at the rate he stutters now.
Yeah, because he older now. Yeah, he can't help it.
Right.
Man.
As he got older, that's part of him getting older and the decline. But they keep talking about cognitive decline. Cognitive decline ain't got a motherfucking thing to do with stutter. When you're talking about cognitive, you are talking about the mind. You are talking about his mind is going.
Natural American,
right?
That's the natural person walking around. Don't separate those. It's just he can't put a sentence together. He too old, and that's enough for them. You know what I'm saying? It's not. They don't have he's a stutterer since kid in that. Now you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Because it wasn't about being a stutterer. That's why they went to cognitive decline. That he's losing all of his senses, he's losing all of his abilities. That's stuttering ain't got nothing to do with that because you can overcome stuff. You could come out and say, well, it's easy to come out and say, well, you know, a lot of us don't understand him. You know, some of the things he get mixed up saying because he's a stutterer and he's trying to talk and he's trying to get his words out, and that, you know, that's a condition. But when you go to cognitive decline and say he's in cognitive decline, you are basically saying the man is losing his mind. You are saying he's even got dementia, he's going to see now. So it moved past
the same thing to the average American when he can't put a sentence together. All that's the same to them.
Yeah.
You feel me? So, and they don't know, the majority of Americans don't know he's a stutterer since kid. So all they see is him can't put a sentence together, and when he do, they don't understand it. You feel me? They don't know about all the history that you know about and Democrats know about. You feel me, Godfather?
Yeah,
they don't.
Like I said, they saw the mental decline in him a long time ago. They saw even the way he walked, like he high step. Y'all don't notice that? I mean, watch
No,
last year.
He walked slow and all. He 81.
Yeah, so they know that. They know they've been on this for a while. But it's just that they've been trying to get him to understand that it's time to go, but he just didn't want to leave. So what they did was, again, they had an early debate. The debate determined whether
it was lucky. That was lucky because
he understood that.
It gave him a chance to see
really
him
did.
early. It gave him a chance to make a move. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said something else too.
Gave everybody a chance to see what he did. And based on what
and be honest with you, I think like all the delegates and all the super delegates are the people that did this, right? They the ones that forced this. They the ones forced motherfucking representatives and senators to come out and the donors, you know what I'm saying? They all forced them to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? They took turns. And I just think, like, when you force the whole situation like that, that's when you get the anger. You know what I'm saying? Even though the process is going the way it's supposed to, it's just that the fact that everybody know in America that he wanted to run for president until that debate, and his party start having a fit. Everybody in the world know that. You know what I'm saying? It's like nobody know. Up until then, he was running, so we know he been pushed the fuck out. He can get up here and say what he want on his speech, but everybody know he's pushed out of this race. He wouldn't have ran if his party wouldn't eaten him alive. He came to the conclusion that if he keep running, his party is so split that he would never beat this motherfucker. And that's just it. And he said, fuck it, I gotta bow out. And his party did that. You know what I'm saying?
It came down when Pelosi and Schumer and Jeffries and a couple of more, Obama and a couple of more went to him in the beginning after the debate and said You need to drop out. He basically said, hell no, I ain't going nowhere. That's why he went on the interview circuit. That's why he was doing them fiery speeches. He's like, hell no, I ain't going nowhere. They came at him again. If you don't drop out, it could affect the down ballot candidates. No, I ain't going nowhere. Blah, 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 blah. So when
I wouldn't left him down about it either. So it's just he came down to the fact his personally feeling that his party split.
So when it came down to the big money donors, came to basically said to the big wigs, we're not giving another, and this is what they said, we are not giving another cent to the Biden campaign, and we're not giving another cent to anybody else that's running because he's a drag on the ticket. Unless he get out, we're withholding the money. When they withheld the money, that was it. He had no choice because you can't win an election like this without money.
That's cool. But me personally, right? I think like when we say delegates and all who the super delegates are, they're mostly motherfucking former mayors, former presidents, former vice presidents in the Democratic Party, and people that spend money, right? And to me, I wouldn't be surprised if Beyonce is one of these people that's behind the scenes, her husband, those type of donors in the Democratic Party. I wouldn't be surprised if Beyonce wasn't a super delegate, to be honest with you.
You vote in delegates.
Say it again.
You vote in delegates.
No, I'm talking about super delegate. Super delegates are former mayors, former motherfucking officials, and people that are donors. Period.
Delegates, when
so those are delegates. I wouldn't be surprised if Beyonce and her husband is a delegate, bro.
Yeah, they ain't no delegates. They
worth $1 billion. What do you mean they ain't a delegate?
That don't mean they delegates in
Let's think about this for I ain't never thought about this now, too. But let's stop. Let's think about this for a minute. Hold on. In the Democratic Party, delegates are former officials and people that donate into the party, right? And so when you think about that, who donate into the Democratic Party? Billionaires and millionaires. So that's going to separate to who are they? Beyonce, most entertainers, especially her husband. And some of them going to have to be a fucking delegate. They got to be. They spending tons and tons of money in this joint. Half of that money that Kamala got, Beyonce pushed some of that shit, bro. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they one of the people in the rooms like, we can't win with him. With Obama, Obama's sitting there, you know what I'm saying? We got an old nigga back in the day that screamed. What's his name? The nigga that had lost the race because he screamed out loud or some shit. What's that nigga name, yeah? The white dude, he almost won. He screamed and shit. I forgot his name. I bet he back there. I bet he a delegate. Like, these are the delegates. I guarantee you Beyonce is a fucking delegate. I want somebody to ask Beyonce, is she a delegate to the Democratic Party, bro?
Who's a delegate, you know?
I bet you wouldn't know. Nobody know who the delegates are.
You would know. Shit, I just told you. Delegates are voted in.
The super delegates.
When
who are they? Do you know who they are?
I know.
You don't know who the super delegates are.
I know one of them. I know one of them is God damn. What's my girl name? God damn, the black lady. She was Donna Brazile.
Donna Brazile.
She's
a former official. You're making my point. Former officials, former mayors, vice presidents of the Democratic Party. Those are big wigs. Those are people are the delegates, super delegates, and people that spend money on them. Shit. So they got to be people like Beyonce. It got to be people like that. Who else are they?
Nah, I don't believe that.
Beyonce is almost a billionaire by guy.
Doesn't matter. The motherfucker, she's a billionaire, but the motherfucking big money donors in the party, them motherfuckers are.
Oh, who? They ain't got more money than her. Who are they? Who are they?
You gonna tell me a motherfucker like Tim Cook? You gonna tell me a motherfucker like the motherfucker that own Microsoft? You gonna tell me them motherfuckers?
Her and her husband together is not in the same league?
Fuck no.
I did. She a super delegate, bro. I guarantee you she a super delegate.
Come on.
I need to look this up. I guarantee Beyonce is a super delegate or her husband. One of them got to be a super delegate. They got too much money, bruh.
No, money ain't all it is. You got to be
You got a
involved.
concert coming up now. Shorty been a motherfucking nominee for what, 24 hours, 36 hours? Beyonce got a concert coming up now already.
I sent that shit out this morning. I seen that shit.
That's not the point. You're missing the point. Who sent it out? Who saw it? It's irrelevant. The point is, Beyonce is having a concert already. Now.
So that means Taylor Swift, the motherfucking super delegate too.
I think so too. I would not deny that. I would not deny her.
Why you think Trump want her so bad? Why you think
I would
Trump
not
want her
deny
to be on her side?
Taylor Swift being a super delegate. I would not deny that. That's why they doing these pushing. They making these fundraisers, bro, because they part of the motherfucking. They super delegates. Who else can it be but them? You know what I'm saying? What the hell wrong with you?
Nah,
they not all tycoons in the Democratic Party. You need rappers. You need, huh?
Right now, only reason why you don't. Only reason. Just think about it. Think about it. When Obama was running, right? You had Oprah Winfrey out there. You had,
Oprah Winfrey might be a super delegate. I guarantee Oprah Winfrey is super delegate. Hell yeah, she's definitely a super delegate. Get the fuck out of here. Oprah Winfrey is definitely. I guarantee she was in that room saying, "Oh no, he gotta go. He's too old."
Yeah, you got certain people that's up there, that's like really up there. But
now we trying to figure out.
You don't hear him talking now because the entertainment world is in shambles right now.
We're trying to figure out the smoke-filled room. Who in that room? You know what I'm saying now? And me personally, I think Beyonce in there. I think Oprah in that room. Obama in that room. The rich motherfuckers in the Democratic Party is sitting there. And you can't deny Beyonce is one of them. Easy.
I don't agree with that.
Almost a billionaire black woman that support Democratic policies is not a Democrat, is not a delegate. What is wrong with y'all, bro? She have to be. If she not, you got to make her one. What do you mean? That don't make no sense, bro. You would look for a white man to make the much money she do? Come on, bro.
Fucking money, these motherfuckers richer than her.
That support Democratic policies? Yes. Bro, you still been looking up. You've been looking up for 40 minutes.
I'm looking at
what you're finding is she is a delegate, bro. A delegate.
She ain't motherfucking.
What it tell you? Niggas that spend money, right? And officials.
Okay.
Who spend money?
I'll give you the definition real quick.
Who people that spend money? Millionaires, billionaires. Who the fuck is Beyonce? Come on, bro. Who the fuck is Taylor Swift? Millionaires, billionaires. They in that table. They Democrats. You think they super delegates? Go ahead, look it up.
Super delegates.
NFL players.
Politics. A super
NFL players too.
Presidential nominee who is seated automatically. In Democratic National Convention, super delegates described in formal party rules as party leaders and elected officials category make up slightly under 15% of all convention delegates. Before 2018, Democratic super delegates were free to support any candidate for the presidential nomination in all rounds of voting. So, okay.
What? You didn't tell me who they are. You said officials.
It doesn't say I said what people that spend money. It don't have. It doesn't
skip over the fact that they said that people that spend money too.
It don't say nothing about people spending money.
That's not true. Stop playing.
I'm reading it right now.
The fundraisers.
Right now. It says in American politics, a super delegate is a delegate to a presidential nominating convention who is seated automatically. In Democratic national conventions, super delegates described in the formal party rules as the party leaders and elected officials category. They are described in form as the party leaders and elected officials category, make up slightly under 15% of all convention delegates. Before 2018, Democratic super delegates were free to support any candidate for the presidential nomination in all rounds of balloting. Basically, they free to vote who the fuck they want to vote for.
No, we're not saying who they voting for. He's saying who are they?
I'm trying to find out who are they. Let me see.
That's the key point. It's going to be people that spend money on that party.
Okay, the remaining 85 delegates are pledged.
It's going to be people that spend money on the Democratic Party. Easy.
You know that history in 68. We ain't gonna go to 68 because that's too far back.
Like I said, the only reason you don't hear too much of Jay-Z talking and Beyonce talking and
Exactly.
James Jones is because the music industry is going through terribles right now. They don't want to be they can't really be talking about being associated with voting right now. Hello?
Go ahead, you hear.
Yeah, so they're not. So the music industry can't talk about voting like how they did when Barack Obama was coming out, how they did with Barack Obama's second term and Biden's first term. They can't come out and speak now because the entertainment world's in shambles. So they hoping on people like Taylor Swift, who can rally around Democrat, help come back to them, the Democratic Party and get people back on board. They can't call it Jay-Z and the Beyoncés and the Sean Puffy Combs because their life is right now is questionable.
That's the problem, right?
But they'll be part of the super delegates. But it is a problem. It's a super problem because they can't get out there and tell people to vote right now. They can't get the black people out there to talk about Project 2025 because they locked in their own troubles right now.
True. Tone?
Hold up, I'm looking at something because they had reforms on the super delegate commission. The super delegates to the convention, they did some new shit after the Hillary Bernie thing. So let's see, July 23,
Yeah, I remember that.
Of the 2016 National Convention, the 2016 DNC Rules Committee voted overwhelmingly 158-6 to adopt a super delegate reform package. The new rules was a result of a compromise between the Hillary Clinton and the Bernie Sanders presidential campaigns. In the past, Sanders had pressed for the complete elimination of super delegates. I remember that. He heard super delegates. No, fuck you. Under the reform package, a 21-member unity commission chaired by Clinton supporter Jennifer O'Malley Dillon. That's who's running. I think that's who's running the campaign now. And vice chaired by Sanders supporter Larry Cohen was appointed after the 2016 general election. The commission recommendations would be voted on at the next Democratic National Meeting well before the beginning of 2020. The commission was considered a mix of Clinton and Sanders' ideas, expanding the ability of eligible voters to participate in caucuses. Okay, yeah, they expanded the caucus, and an idea supported by Clinton, and expanding the ability of unaffiliated new voters to join the Democratic Party and vote in Democratic primaries via same-day registration. What Sanders wanted, the mission due comparison to the government, blah, 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 and that's able to mention. So, but it still ain't saying.
In theory, the super delegates are people that in the party that know what's right and wrong for the party in general.
Yeah, basically, they at the end of the day, they can vote. A regular delegate is bound on the first round of voting. They are bound to vote for whoever their nominee is. Like if Biden, say if Biden and Harris was running against each other on the first round of voting in the roll call, Biden delegates would be required to vote for him. Harris delegates would be required to vote for her. But in that round, in every round, but after the first round, the delegates are not bound. They can vote for anybody from round two, anybody they please from round two on. But in round one and any other round, super delegates can vote for whoever the fuck they want to. So if say the vote was close in, what was it, 1980 something that they need, well, fuck it, almost 2,000. We'll round it up to 2,000. Say they needed 2,000 delegates to get the nomination, and say it was close. Super delegates can vote whichever way they want in round one and put a motherfucker over the top.
Yeah,
So,
they keep going until they get the person.
Right. But if it's close, super delegates had the power because they wasn't bound to anybody. That was the thing. That's what
To
pissed
make the
him off.
right decision for the party, right? That's why they there. That's why I want you to admit those 700 people are there to make sure that the party make the right decision.
But they don't make. I mean, you can put it like that.
That's the
but
point of
if, like, if it's close, if it's a close vote, super delegates can go. Whoever that was Bernie Sanders' argument. That ended up being Bernie Sanders' argument that he felt that him and Hillary was close. He said him and Hillary was close. So on the first vote, on the first round of voting, Hillary's delegates was going to vote for her. Sanders delegates was going to vote for him. But we already knew what the deal was back in that what was it, 2020 whatever, that the super delegates already said we voting for Hillary. I don't know, fuck Bernie Sanders. That's just basically what they say. We voting for Hillary. He got mad because if it was close, and okay, the super delegates would have put Hillary over the top. They was going to vote to Hillary, and it wasn't going to be another round. So nobody else, so they couldn't change their mind.
The better example for that is Hillary and Obama. When Hillary and Obama ran, Obama took the lead between those two, and it left Hillary to only go through like Kentucky, West Virginia. She started picking up the motherfucking states that Democrats usually don't win. You feel me? She started picking up those working class white people that Trump got nailed, to be honest with you. And that what made the race close between her and Obama. At the end, the super delegates chose Obama. If they would have chose her, she would have been a joint. The super delegates said, no, that's it. We're going to choose Obama, and that's the way we're going. And once the super delegates made that choice, Obama was the motherfucking nominee.
Yeah, I agree with that because in 2008, Obama had so much wind in his back that he would have, if it came down to super delegates, he would have got he probably got every super delegate they was.
It came down to super delegates, but those super delegates were getting pushed by their kids, the younger generation, to tell them, no, it's Obama turn. When all those super delegates wanted to vote for Hillary, but they was pushed. They was pushed. The country was going in another direction at that time. They was loving Obama. Yes, we can. All that shit was going on. They had no other choice. And that's why the 700 super delegates said, okay, we got to tell Hillary she got to stop. You feel me? And that's why they said, boom, all 700 delegates went behind Obama, put him over the top. And that's what they there for, to be honest with you, to make sure the party make a sensible decision.
But they never did it. They never put nobody over the top. I'm looking at it. It's super delegates had never determined the outcome.
It's the reason why Obama's president.
But it could have.
What do you mean?
Obama beat Hillary.
The super delegates split and went to him.
He beat her.
Because of the super delegates.
He beat her on the super delegate.
It came down to It came down to the end where it was just number left with super delegates. And they switched from some of them switched and took their joint off of Hillary and went to Obama. That's why he won. The super delegates. It went all the way to the end. What are you talking about?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was a Hillary fan at the time.
But the thing was about that was that,
and they felt like they stole it from Hillary because the super delegates came in and said, no, Obama. And went all the way the Obama way. Gave him the votes.
Whoa.
They were tired of it to them.
Send all delegates to the Republic. I know.
The reason why Bernie Sanders had to change because he felt like they was telling him, they was pressuring him to get out because he was giving up too much ammo for Trump. He didn't want to. He kept pushing and stand in the race.
With no way to win.
With no way to win. All he was doing was hurting Hillary Clinton by staying in. So that's where he got mad because he felt like they overpowered him over her. But yeah, you stood in the race that we telling you a long time ago to stay out of. To get out of a long time ago. It's like how they told Hillary Clinton, get out. It's winning. Get out now.
That's a good point. Those super delegates told motherfucking the old man to get the fuck out. So they was right then too.
Money. The motherfuckers with the money told that motherfucker old man to get the fuck out.
That's 700 delegates told him they was not voting for him. There's no need for you to keep running. He kept running for 4 more months. beating up Hillary, knowing super that he was not going to win. He had no way to win it at all, but he kept running anyway. After super delegates said, "I'm voting for Hillary," that's the point of them being there. Is what I'm saying. They there to make the right choice, not the drunk choice. You feel me? They there to make the sensible choice to make sure the party itself go the right direction, no matter who the hell they put up. See, the Republicans got the same thing in their joint, but they still let Trump go through after being convict and everything else. They didn't throw him out. You feel me? The Democrats still use their power to get rid of their motherfucking nominee just because he was old and couldn't do what they wanted him to do. But this guy's a motherfucking convict, and they still ain't get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? They ain't used those same ways to super delegates and whatever the fuck to get rid of Trump. They could have did the same way with Trump. They could have, all super delegates got behind Haley and Trump could have been fucked. But they didn't do that. Their motherfucking elders of the party
don't use
went behind the wrong person and chose Trump. That was their decision. The Democrats said, no. We're going to choose somebody different from the person we have, the 700 delegates, and said, no, we're not even going to win with these people. Told you, Tony, person that loved Biden, told you the information. You didn't like it, but they knew what was right, period. You know what I'm saying? They know what's right.
Went about it in a fucked up way. But they went about it in a fucked up ass way.
But they know what's right. And he just laying off shit. They did a lot of this, but before Biden too. And he just named a few of those same situations that had nothing to do with Biden.
They
you know,
did.
They did the same thing.
It wasn't about no super delegates. It wasn't about nothing. It was the party bigwigs wanted them out, and they used and
those are super delegates. The party bigwigs, whatever you want to call it.
And they used
super delegates.
In the end, they pressed them out and they forced them out by withholding the money. Because if you don't got them millions of dollars that you needed, and you knew it, and you know that's the truth, because no sooner than he dropped out, all the money came pouring back. All the money came pouring back.
They tell Biden. They probably told Biden. Like I said, they probably told Biden this last year. They probably told Biden. They probably been told Biden you had no chance to win. But Biden said no. Let's just see how things go. So they let the easy road go. But then after a while, they start seeing more and more decline of Biden. So they said, okay, Biden, since you don't want to go, this is the deal we're going to make. We're going to do an early debate. When we do the early debate, we're going to see how things go from that debate on. If that debate goes fine and everything goes good, you're going to stay as the presumptive nominee. If not, we got to make a change. It's fourth quarter now. It's the fourth quarter. We need to make a change so we get a chance to win. We went to this yesterday. A chance to win. So nothing else really matters at this point. Whether he got kicked out or not. The super delegates told him a long time ago, he refused. Let's see how it's going to go. But they did that. But they said we're going to also put in debate, and that determines whether you stay in office or not. And then that's
what I was trying to make clear to people listening, that super delegates are in both parties, first of all, and they there for a reason, because they know what's best for the party in general. You see what I'm saying? Now, Republicans didn't exercise their shit to get rid of a convict. They just didn't do it. You feel me? So that's their problem. But I want people to know that these people don't come up there without somebody saying, okay, he good enough to come through. Like the Democrats wouldn't have put a convict because the 700 delegates wouldn't let him come through. He had been done. They would been got rid of him. You feel me? So the Republicans says, fuck it. He's a motherfucking convict. Let him keep coming. But they could have got rid of Trump a long time ago.
Yeah.
They could have got rid of Trump.
Elon Musk is one. He's one big factor of Trump right now. He's one super delegate because he got money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much money. So he supports Trump. That's right. He supports Trump. So that's why he's not going to let Trump go, because he supports Trump.
Basically his campaign. He's $45 million a month. That's a fucking super
delegate. He took the $45 million back. He reneged on it. He said
that's a super delegate, bro.
He was doing it though. Delicate. He was doing it though. He's delicate. Whether he stopped it or not.
He gave 2 months work. What's that? 90 million? Shit.
He ain't gave shit.
2 months worth is a lot of money, bro.
Yeah, 90 million.
Delegate. You get $90 million in overnight from a,
He's
you
a
get
super. I
90
think
million in 2 months?
he
No,
might be a
it's
super delegate for
delegate.
Republicans
You
too.
can do that.
You're right. You're right. All billionaires probably super delegates for the Republicans. Come think of every billionaire in the country probably super delegate for the Republicans and shit. Except for Beyonce. That's the one billionaire that ain't with y'all clowns. You know what I'm saying? Bruh. So I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do. We come in and join with breaking news and everything. My overall impression of the speech is the fact that you saw the reason why they got rid of him. You saw the reason why they needed to move on, and that was it. And he explained to y'all that he got out of this campaign because he had too much pressure. His party was too split. He made that clear. That's why he dropped out, because his party split. He had to get them back together, and the only way to get it back together is he drop out. So this is a person that's going into his deathbed, making sure a black woman first has the first dibs to be president, or a shot to be president. This is no black woman in history had this close of a shot to be a president. Period. Ever. And he set this up so she can be that, and she could take on the legacy, and he can go. One thing about him being 81, he can go out knowing that he set the stage for the first black or the first female to be president. He can go out knowing he did that. You see what I'm saying? On his way out. You know what I'm saying? So no matter how you look at Biden, he did so much for our culture, and he set the stage for the first black woman to be president. He laid it out. He could have just kept going through the fucking campaign and said, fuck it. Let that bitch wait 4 years from now. You know what I'm saying? Let her do whatever the fuck she gonna do 4 years now if I lose, you know? But no. You know what he did? He said, you know what? This is a chance right here for a woman to be president, and I'm gonna bow out and give her that chance. Period. She's a better spokesman. She's a better Democrat. She's a stronger motherfucker debater, and it was the best motherfucking move. That's just that simple. Now, y'all got some say for you out here?
Yeah, this is the actual Elon Musk quote right here.
Lord.
At no point I said I was going to donate $45
What?
million a month to Donald Trump.
He said that was mouth. I saw it. I heard it.
Let me finish. That was fiction made up by the Wall Street Journal. That is the quote, exact quote
No,
from
it can't
Elon
happen
Musk.
like that. I seen him
And you
say it.
heard him like
He
I
said
heard
it.
him, like everybody heard him. So like I told you, he reneged on the 45 million a month. He didn't give him shit. Then it was another part. Hold on, let me find when he said he wasn't going to donate to something.
All right, first of all, Elon Musk told us from the beginning he's not getting involved in the politics, this race at all. 2 months later, he pledged $45 million for Trump. Now you want to try to act like he telling the truth now? Come on, bro. He's a liar. He giving this nigga money. Period. He gonna pull it out there and put it into a pack. Period. He gonna give him the money. Trump just said it yesterday in his stump speech. Elon Musk, I didn't know that. Elon Musk gave me $45 million. Come on, bro.
Did the same shit when he bought Twitter and tried to back out of it.
Cool.
But the courts made him buy it anyway because whatever he did, he signed some shit or whatever. That was the same shit he did when he tried to buy Twitter. He pledged the whatever it was, billions, hundreds of billions of dollars. Then a few weeks later, he tried to back out of it. Then they said, hell no, you're not doing this.
He didn't pledge to Biden or hers. So regardless, he pledged to give money to motherfucking Trump.
Yes,
$45 million a month.
Yes, he did for the next 3 months.
So that's what he did to do. He there for him. And then you had
Child support is that?
that's it.
No child. You're getting the man.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, you got something to say, Big Yachty? Or you already said something? Oh, I'm tripping.
I'm trying to find it.
Oh, that was go ahead. You got something to say, Big Yachty?
Yeah. Just remember, y'all, get out here and vote. Please get out here and vote. I don't care what y'all think. This is a critical election right here. And if you don't know, again, I'm gonna say it every time I'm on here. Look up Project 2025. That's what your world gonna look like if you vote for Trump.
Yeah, everybody done look that up now. Tell them about your new show you got coming up with your Sandbox folks. You know what I'm saying, dog? You gotta let everybody know.
Okay.
Find you at on that joint and everything.
Yeah, starting tomorrow, actually, is our first introduction to our show. From the Sandbox to social media. Me and my two friends who've been friends forever, basically. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. It's going to be live streaming on my on Facebook and YouTube soon. Yeah. Also, my daughter I'm a grandfather for the 4th time. I got my first grandson not even 20 minutes ago. So Ishmael is now here, and I'm about to go enjoy him right now.
All right, now, me and Tony will definitely be back here Friday night, as we do usual. But we're gonna come back as our usual podcast. You know what I'm saying, dog? As we do, Chasing Mackers and Coons. You know what I'm saying, dog? The fastest growing motherfucker podcast on YouTube. You know what I'm saying, dog? Just average Joe. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Just average motherfucker.
I found the rest of the quote after he
Lord.
said that it was fiction made about a Wall Street Journal. He said, and I quote, I can't support a cult of personality.
Who said that?
Elon Musk.
Oh my God. I don't understand what's happening right now. I don't know what's going on.
I can tell you what happened.
What are you proving now? I'm losing. You lost me. What's happening? What?
Have you heard the last few Trump speeches when Trump been going in on electric cars? That's Elon's money right
also
there.
been saying the last speech he had, he said Elon Musk gave me $45 million.
He damn sure did. And since then, Elon Musk said that's a damn lie.
He's starting to sound like Trump, ain't he? Reneging.
Like a motherfucker.
God damn.
I support a cult of personality. Well, I knew that shit. Something was kind of fishy because Trump kept going on electric cars. He kept going on electric cars, and I'm like, Elon gonna get this man $45 million. The way he been going on, yeah, you could drive. You could drive your electric cars for 45 minutes, and then you gotta recharge them again, and all this other shit.
I don't even know what Trump talking about, bro. He talking about shocks, electricity. He just all over the place, bro.
Oh,
but then he knows this motherfucking in race. Holla at y'all Friday. Me, Tony. You know what we do. Chase Mackers and Coons. Mackers and Coons.
Talking about politics coming from view of the streets, you know what I'm saying, dog? We're not coming from professional view. We're not lawyers. None of that shit is on TV. You know what I'm saying? We come straight from the hood. The hood view.